try this again. We've been going for a few minutes with no microphone on. Hey, I'm Trevor. This is Whistler. We are going to run quickly through what we were talking about before we realized that the sound was actually not on. First Twitch stream. We've done some YouTube stuff. We've done some other web type stuff. But this is the first live stream, so a couple of hitches. My apologies for anybody who tuned in and wasn't getting audio. So what we're going to do is we are going to try and make a game. It's kind of a gray and wet day, and we're, stuck inside a little bit due to isolation, lockdown, and whatnot. So it's as good a time as any to start trying to learn something new and do something fun. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull up our digital whiteboard here, which Whistler's running. This is Love Make Share Makes a Game. On our quick agenda for today, we're going to talk a little bit about Construct 3, which is the game engine that we're going to be using to make the game. We'll talk a little bit about what we're making and do some brainstorming. And we will start trying to build the player movement, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see if we can make something that feels good to move around in. So here we go. Boom. Whiteboard. Let's run through this again.
All right.
Arrow goes this way. All right, let's talk about the game engine quickly. We won't spend quite as long as we did last time because we can be a little bit more efficient. So video game engines for a lot of people are kind of a logo that comes up at the beginning of a game, and then you don't really have to think about it after that. A lot of games are developed in this guy, which is called Unity. A lot of games are developed in this, which is Unreal. We are on Twitch, and a game on Twitch that is extremely popular and continues to be is Fortnite, which is Unreal Engine, as well as most other AAA games. Frostbite, which all the big EA games, including things like Jedi Fallen Order, are built on. Source, that's your Valve games, like your Counter-Strikes and your Half-Lifes. I believe Dota runs on Source as well. RPG Maker. So we've actually built a game in RPG Maker before, and let's see if I still have it up from last time, and we do. We actually wrote up a post about 7 things we learned making a video game. We made our first game back in 2018 in RPG Maker as a Christmas present for your mama.
My mama.
Your mama. And that was a lot of fun. So hopefully this will be just as fun. Godot is an engine that I'm looking forward to experimenting with. I have it installed right now. We're not using it today because Godot requires coding. And I don't know about you, kiddo, but I don't know how to code.
Neither do I.
So we just won't use that for now. This one, Ren'Py, this is for making visual novels. It's extremely popular. Adventure Game Studio. What kind of games do you think are made using Adventure Game Studio?
Adventure games?
Yeah, nailed it.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about engines a little bit. Engines are toolboxes. They are like toolboxes in the way that toolboxes are like toolboxes, and that most of them probably have a similar set of tools, but depending on what you like to do, you're going to have different tools to do different tasks. So for example, if I like woodworking, I might have chisels and saws and files and things like that, but if I like electrical, I might have screwdrivers and hammers and stuff like that the woodworker has, but I'm also going to have a soldering iron, I'm going to have some wire strippers, I'm going to have different tools, right? So most engines do some of the same things, but some of them are more specialized. So for example, all of these engines have a way to show graphics to the player.
Okay.
right? All of them have a way to interact with what's going on the computer, but some are much more specialized. So this one has tools that are specific to making RPG games. This one has stuff that's specific to making your visual novels. This one has a lot of tools that are specialized to building, adventure games. And then this one is kind of like, ooh, look, shiny graphics. And this one is, ooh, look, indie developers use this, so we can make it do a bunch of weird things. This one is, we're open source, and we're developed by the community, and that's cool. But we're going to use Construct, because Construct has some features that we want. So the first feature of Construct is it's free to start, which is awesome for us. We may or may not need to move to the paid version depending on how complicated this gets, but in order to get going, we can just jump right in. The other cool thing about this is that all of these other engines require you to know how to program. And fortunately, Construct does not. So there's no coding. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's fine. Whiteboard's being just a hair weird here. So yeah, no coding is a great feature.
There we go.
Nice. No coding.
No coding, okay.
So I, or you, or anybody watching, could jump in and start without having to know how to code. And then the other feature that I really like about this is that it runs in a web browser. So you can develop anywhere. No matter what you have, you could have a big, powerful desktop PC, you could be running a laptop, you could be on a MacBook, you could be on a Chromebook, you could be on some sort of tablet, and you can kind of get that same development experience, no matter where you're developing. All right, what do you say we talk a little bit about the game?
Sure.
Okay, just gonna check in if anybody in chat has any questions about engines, about constructs, about Construct 3 before we move on. I assume no, but again, this is the first stream, and while I have... Yeah. Okay. I think we have some people who are watching who are not signed in as users, which is totally fine. I'm not sure if they can chat, though. All right, so let's move on and talk about the game. Shall we play the thing that we've been talking about a little bit?
Sure.
Inspired us? All right. I'm just going to pull that over here. Yeah. So this is from 2010's Tron Legacy. I think we're all fans.
Yeah, I love this movie.
So there are a few cool things about this disc wars sequence that I think would make a really, really fun game. So you saw a deflection, you saw a block, you saw people kind of jumping around and dodging. I'm gonna actually roll this back for a minute because there's something that I think is super cool. Watch. The disc is bouncing around the arena, right? So he dodges, bounce, and it comes back at weird angles. So that kind of disc combat where it's like an object bouncing around the arena, I think is super fun. The other thing that we didn't talk about, but that I've been thinking more and more since we watched this clip, is like, how cool would it be? I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe the arena is destructible. Who knows? That's a feature we can explore later on. The block is a great mechanic, right? So like all of these are interesting things that the player can do. This escaping the grid, maybe not so much.
No.
But like, sucks to be that guy. But the fact that the arena changes is super cool. The fact that, it kind of reconfigures depending on who the opponent is fun. Rinsler.
Yeah, I think the super bosses maybe could have the exact same thing that Rinsler has. Like, in a few seconds you'll see he can split his disc into two.
Right here, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're not like a high enough level or something, you can't split your disc in two.
Or maybe there's like a power-up or an item or something that gives you a second disc. Oh, that's the other thing. Having one disc and having to wait for it to come back to you before you can throw it again.
Yeah.
Like that's a cool thing that you would have to manage in the game, right? Because you're more vulnerable if you don't have the disc.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I was thinking.
Wait,
what if?
About this part?
Oh, having the having the
like
just change. Yeah. What if? So, I feel like I would love to have really tight controller support in this.
Yeah.
But try this on for size. People are kind of stuck in the same house together. What if we made a Disc Wars game that two people could play on the same keyboard?
I don't like playing on keyboards though.
You like the controller, right?
Yeah, I really like the controller. I don't like keyboards. Because my fingers are very small and my nails are like super, super long, but that's only because I have fake nails on. But like anyways, like my nails are like so long and my fingers are like so tiny I can't really stretch them that much.
Yeah. Okay, what
The
about...
farthest I can stretch my fingers is like this long. And it hurts whenever I do that.
What about this? What if we start on the keyboard and get something that two people can play that's fun, and then once we have kind of the movement and the disc and the bouncing around and like the dodge, I feel like a dodge is really important for this. Like you have a dodge and a block.
I think you could also have like a jump.
Okay.
So that you could maybe like if they throw the disc too low, you can just like jump over it. You know that like no internet game with the dinosaur?
Yeah.
Where it jumps over cactuses and birds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when the bird is too high, all you can do is like go underneath of it.
Yeah.
But if it's too low, you can jump over it. But if it's just medium, you can do either jump over it or not.
So that's interesting because Here, let's switch the white.
Nothing.
Oh, let's switch to the whiteboard for a sec. So, a couple interesting things, and we can both draw them here at the same time, which is fun. This app is Microsoft Whiteboard. It's a free app for Windows 10. So I'm just going to move the keyboard out of the way for a second and get a pen here. So there are a couple of ways that we can build the game, and I just need a pen. So we can build it like this, kind of like a Super Smash Bros. Style side view game.
Yeah.
And that would give you the ability to you could kind of jump, right?
Yeah, you could.
But then the other option that we could do for this is if we built it top down, then you could have there's that gap in the middle of the arena, right?
Yeah.
And you could have your bonhommes on either side like this. The advantage of something like this up here is that you could have, I guess you could have, you could have your jumps. This is a super thick pen. Yeah. You could have your jumps, maybe more items. This would probably be better if we were doing something Smash Brosy, right?
That's not a word, whatever.
No, it's not a word, but I mean, listen, I think you and I both like Super Smash Brothers a lot.
That's also a good point.
But you could have I'm just gonna put Smash Bros. Can you tell I have not done a whole lot of setup on this drawing tablet?
I did realize that.
The one disadvantage to this versus the other one is that your discs are basically going to go from left to right and from right to left.
Oh, you could throw it
Yeah, that's totally an option. There could be a curve, or there could be a ceiling.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't like that I just did. You could have a ceiling up here, and you could bounce it off the ceiling.
You could go
But depending on what, let's say. Yeah.
Well, I'm about a triangle, whatever.
No, but I think that shows the point really well. Let's say down here, let's say there's a barricade in the arena. So bloop, here's a wall, here's a wall, here's a wall, here's a wall. Well, that's terrible, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's a combination of Smash Bros. And pool, where you're like, how can I bank it off the wall in order to get at the other player?
It would
Right? Or do I have to wait for this?
It'd go that. It'd go the way that you wrote it, and then it would go whoop.
Yeah. So you would have to, there would be kind of a different, I'm just going to delete that line. So the challenge would be different, is what I'm saying. Not better or worse, but different.
Sorry, I erased your little bit.
That's totally fine. So for this one, it's more strategy. It's more I was watching a video this morning with Sprints about a game called Doom Eternal, and it talks about the idea of combat arenas Which would be the same as here. Like here we could make levels like Smash Bros. It doesn't have to be a flat plane, right?
Yeah.
So
you have legs though, right?
Sorry?
Could have legs though, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is we can make it look like whatever we want to make it look like.
Could we make it look like I was fighting my sister?
If we wanted to.
I want to do that.
But the other interesting thing about something like this is then we would also have this thing of like a I can't spell apparently. I'm gonna blame being up at night with I did it again. The other thing here.
What do you want me to write?
Yeah, why don't you write it? Because apparently I am incapable. Combat puzzles, which I think is a really cool concept. So you kind of have to solve for it. And here's another idea that we could use in kind of either one of these places is like have you ever played Breakout? And you have a little ball and then there's like bricks at the top of the screen.
No, I've never played that, but I've heard of it.
Okay. So basically like every time, let's say I'm like pew splat, and that will not be the sound effects.
That would be so funny though.
Splat, plat. So we're here, and every time you hit a barrier, it kind of breaks. So like, you could this player could hide behind here, and then this player could just crank on this.
Constantly hit that, and then they can
until it shatters.
Until it shatters and just goes through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, that could work just as well up here. Like, let's say that there's a little barrier here, then
Oh, okay. Never mind.
And then this player could kind of. This player could hide behind the barricade. And maybe it's like. Maybe there's like barricades on each one of these that you could kind of jump up and behind. I'll be honest, my preference is for the bottom one. But I think I would be happy to do either or
I don't care which one.
Okay. Or maybe we try it just occurred to me that depending on the angles that you build the arena at, you're going to get different bounce back angles. Because like throwing a disc here at a 45 degree against a 45 degree surface is going to bring it straight back this way, versus if you throw it into a corner, it's going to go gong gong, and it's going to have slightly less predictable.
She's gonna go like wee dee.
Yeah. But any angle that you put this arena at, it's going to change how it plays. I like this. I am on board with this bottom idea. I think a smash, like a smash-alike, would be fun, but this I feel like could be really goofy and good. How do you feel about that? You gotta... you're showing me right here. Yeah, I dig it. Cool. Should we hop over to Construct and start putting some things in place?
Sure, but then I can't draw.
Correct.
But I can just draw like right. Just
yeah. Did you want to start doing like little sketches of characters or whatever in Whiteboard, and we can come back periodically and talk about what you're doing?
Can I erase this?
You can just move to a different place on the whiteboard, because I don't think it's infinite, but there's tons of space. Okay.
Kind of is.
So
no, it's not.
we are going to go for a top-down combat arena puzzler thing with 2-player, not hot seat gameplay, local multiplayer is the term I'm looking for, with destructible environments. Okay? With the ideas of like, one disc at a time, a dodge, a doge, apparently. What is happening? I'm like professionally a writer. A dodge. Not a doge.
Yeah, because what the heck is that?
A block. I guess the block would be only if you're holding the disc, eh? Otherwise you're trying to like block it with your bare hands. I don't think that would go very well.
No.
A dodge, a block. The dodge and the jump could kind of be the same thing. Like, you know, that funky like spinny dodge that they do in the movie.
Yeah.
All right. So you keep drawing. I'm gonna get us set up for player movement. So where's our construct window? Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and log in while people can't see my username and password.
Choice.
And we can go ahead. And I'm going to turn off our video for a little bit, and we'll let the game engine take center stage.
I'm gonna just be drawing characters.
So as you can see, we are in free trial mode. I'm also going to put away the drawing tablet because it's just kind of in the way at this point. I'm not going to use it as a mouse.
It's a good idea.
No, I was going to sell that tablet ages ago, and I'm kind of glad I haven't. So let's see. Construct 3. I'm going to try now. Oh, there's also a big green launch now button. So here it is. There are a lot of great tutorials for Construct 3. Now, I've actually used Construct in the past. So I used Construct 2 a bunch. Way back in the day when I was teaching. So we actually made games in my communications technology class. That was an old man voice.
Oh.
That was like 5 years ago now, 6 years ago now. So long ago.
I know, right?
Well done for picking the easiest and most powerful game-making tool. After you close this window, you'll see the start page. Here are some ideas to start with. Well, okay, fine.
New project.
Check this out. Just before we get into it, there's something that I was going to mention before. For folks who are interested in like indie video game development, if you're not familiar with itch.io, I strongly recommend checking it out. Itch is it's a place to share independent games. It's a place where a lot of indie devs sell games for just a couple of bucks or publish stuff for free. But on Itch, Unity is far and away the most popular video game engine, but then Construct right after it with almost 10,000 products, including 74 new projects this week being added that are built in Construct. So that's fun. New project. Okay, what are we gonna do here? We'll call it Disc Wars. What's up?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Could you draw like an oval or something?
An oval?
No, not.
Like that?
Or like a face shape.
A face shape. Kind of like that?
Okay, I can clean it up a bit.
Okay. Go ahead and clean up my drawing. So we'll call this Disc Wars.
It's a good name.
Prototype. We'll do... Ooh. Okay, so we've got a bunch of different preset options here. I'm sure we can change all this in the editor. Why don't we'll do a high definition but not full 1080p for the prototype. So we'll do 720p landscape. That means it's going to be wider than it is tall. And we'll start with an event sheet, not a script. So you can actually code in this, but we don't need it. And it says optimize for pixel art. We'll have to talk about art style, because you like pixel art a lot, right?
I'm good at pixel art.
You are. What's your? Do you have any ideas about what you want the game to look like?
No, I just want a lot of lights in it.
A lot of lights. I'm down for a lot of lights. So we'll leave this unchecked for now. So we'll create a thing.
Okay, we're done the game. Great. No, just kidding.
So this is the editor window. And if you see, so think about this as a level. And this level is this big. Size 2560 by 1440. And then this gray dotted line is what the player is actually going to be able to see. So right here, this is kind of how Construct works, is it has different little windows where you can add effects and things like that, or you can add behaviors or attributes to objects, and then you have event sheets. And events are statements about how the game operates. So let's see. We want to start with player movement. So first we need something in here to act as a player. So I'm going to right click, insert new object. And we want, SVG. Let's start with a tiled background first. And see if we can maybe make something quickly. So there is actually art in this part, kiddo. But I'm just going to do gray.
Why gray?
Just kind of to give us a sense of movement, mostly. Not fill, but I do want a border. So I'm just going to kind of... Oh, I'm drawing. I am drawing. And I don't want gray, I want kind of a blue. So I'm just going to make a little map. Yeah. So this is going to be our tile background, and we need somewhere to save all this stuff. So I'm going to create a new folder where we're going to save any temporary art that we do. And this is going to be called Disc Wars. And we're going to call this prototype tile background save. Now, you know what? I actually drew too much. So I'm just gonna paint out the bottom of the line here, because when it's tiled, it will be, there we go, save. Okay. So I'm gonna close this, and then we'll just tile it across the entire thing. So we have, hey, check it out, we have a grid. How appropriate for a Tron-inspired game. So we can also have layers, and layers are like, you know, in Krita, that painting app that you use sometimes?
Yeah.
You can have different layers. So we're gonna add a new layer at the top, and we're just gonna call this kind of like, can I rename this? There we go. We're gonna just call this background. I think in the free version you can only have 2 layers. So we'll start with a background layer and a gameplay layer, and I'm going to go ahead and lock the background layer so I'm not accidentally selecting it. So we'll operate here, and I'm going to add a sprite.
Yeah, which is a character.
Which is like a character. And we're going to add him right in the middle. Or her.
You can draw him.
You can draw it. Did you want to draw the sprite?
Yes, I want to draw the
Okay. Give me just 1 second here, because I feel like this is large. That's the brush size. How do we crop? How do we change the size of this?
Maybe you could just draw the sprite tiny. Oh, it's a Oh, okay. Okay, I can do that.
Yeah?
I could do that.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard though.
Why don't you come over here with the with this and just draw a quick temporary bonhomme.
Okay. You need to do the Daddy.
Yeah?
You need to do like when you're trying to make a real person, you need to make the face and stuff.
You want some guidelines?
I need some
Okay.
guidelines.
So I'll draw guidelines in your art on Whiteboard, and you doodle a little player bonhomme. See, it's 250 by 250. I feel like that's big. Like, I feel like we want to see both. Anyway, it's fine. I'm sure we can resize the bonhomme after the fact.
It's temporary, right?
All this is temporary.
Because if it wasn't temporary, it would be taking time with this.
Do you want me to use a different color for the...
Yeah, do that.
Okay. Do kind of a gray for the guidelines. Yeah, we're not making high art right at the moment. We're just making something that will work so that we can get a sense of how the game works. Awesome.
Not done yet.
So obviously you can either create your art in the editor right here, or you can create it in another app like GIMP or Photoshop or what have you, and upload it that way. There's also support for SVG, what's called a scalable vector graphic, that also that you can kind of resize forever, which might be something for us to look into as well. All right.
She has like one huge strand of hair right there.
Sweet.
Her name is Jessica.
Hello, Jessica. All right, let's see how Jessica does. So just saving our temporary Jessica sprite. Might crop this down a little bit. Uh-oh, what is over here? There's something over here that doesn't make it want to crop. So crop, there we go. All right, save. So there's Jessica. And there's one image point. You can add points to images in this that you can do things like this is, for example, this is where the disc is going to come out. So let's go ahead and put that on her hand just for the time being. We'll save. I'm going to go ahead and close that. There's our Jessica.
Wow, she's tiny.
Yeah. Of course, so we'll save. Ooh, we can save to a service. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and connect this to my OneDrive account. And yep. They're crazy long.
I don't know. But look, there are kitties.
Okay, where's Disc Wars?
Look.
That.
But there are kitties on it. How's it want?
Safe. Okay. So now that I'm out of my account, I'll bring this back. Let's go ahead and run the game.
Wow.
So nothing does anything, because we haven't told the computer to do anything when we do anything. It's just the grid and Jessica. So literally nothing we do is going to do anything. For that, we need to start adding behaviors to this object. So any things that you add are going to be called objects. So we're going to add a behavior because we want her to move, right?
Yeah.
Now there are some built-in movement types, which we can start with.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 directional movement. So that'll give us kind of that top-down, this looking kind of movement. Whoops. So we'll do 8 direction. And now that that's done. Whoa. What? That's crazy.
She can do backflips. She's talented.
She's like rotating.
She's so talented.
Jessica, what? Oh, hang on. Wait, we lost Jessica. Jessica's fleeing. She's like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Okay. So, like, default behavior is not perfect. For one thing, it's got default controls. So we're just using the arrow keys for now.
I want to try. Hold up.
Okay, you want to give it a shot?
Yes.
All right. So tell me if you think this feels good to move Jessica.
It's like me in Minecraft when I'm like gliding through the air.
I don't know about you, but I don't find Jessica particularly fun to move.
No. But like, look, if I go like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then just press another, like.
Yeah. So I don't like that.
Left key, right key, left key, left and up.
How about we get rid of the default controls because we don't want her to control like this anyway,
she's like
right?
actually gliding onto the line of the grid.
Nice.
But why does she go upside down whenever we press the left?
Again, I think that's part of the default behavior thing. I think that's just what it wants to do. So I'm gonna close this.
Hey,
Goodbye,
I was
Jessica.
playing with Jessica.
Directions. Up and down, left and right, 4 directions. 8 directions, so we want 8 directions. Set angle. Ooh. What about this? Yeah, that's good.
How
Weirdly,
is that better?
Weirdly, I like this better because she's not like
How do you like
rotating.
that better?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
So we'll have to mess with the speed and the acceleration. Initially visible, enable collision. So we want her to be able to collide with stuff, right? We don't want her to be able to go through things that are in the arena.
No, we don't.
Okay. I'm gonna add some behaviors to her. I don't like these. Anyway, we'll figure the controls. So we don't want her to be able to leave the game, right?
No.
So I'm gonna go bound to layout.
What?
Okay, we're talking about Smash Brothers.
Yes.
I have an idea.
What?
What if you destroy parts of the back of the arena, and then the characters gain damage the way they do in Smash Bros. And are knocked further and further back as you hit them with the disc, and they have to get knocked out of the arena. You have to the way you knock somebody out of the arena in Smash Bros.
But then it's gonna just be Smash Bros. With the look of Tron.
I don't see the problem. No, that's totally fair.
I just
that's
heard
totally
it
fair.
too. I just heard it too. I don't see the problem either.
But I mean, what we could also do is we could have it so that the player can either be destroyed or knocked out of the arena.
How about both?
How about both?
Yeah. So like, what if you like punch or something? Like when you're like waiting for your disc to come back and you're like just punching and stuff.
Yeah.
You can punch them off the platform, and that can give damage and kill them.
Cool.
But you could also throw a disc and then immediately kill them.
Nice. So then let's not do bound to layout, because that would prevent. So let's add the behavior and just see what that does. So now if we try and have Jessica go off the screen,
she's not going to.
Well, she can go off the screen because the screen and the layout are different sizes, right? So she can go off anywhere there's more screen or there's more layout, but she can't go off. She can't go off the layout. So we don't want that. We actually want Jessica. We want Jessica to die when she's outside the layout. So we'll get rid of bound to layout and we'll go destroy outside layout. So if she gets ringed out, essentially, she will die. And then the other thing that I want us to do is
Leo.
So this is cool. Scroll to. Always center the view on this object or at the midpoint of multiple objects. So let's have the camera scroll to Jessica for the time being. And now I think what we can do is well, first of all, if we go like this, Jessica's off the layout and she's not coming back. She's just done. She's gone.
Wait, make her go back.
We can't. She's been destroyed. She got knocked out of the arena. It's a combat arena. But now, look. See that grid? That's why I wanted the grid for now, is so that you can see.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Wait, why is she still upside down? Stop being upside down, Jessica.
I actually don't want her to rotate at all.
No!
Well, now Jessica's dead. Congratulations.
That's mean.
Okay, let's fix this. She needs to go, what do you think, twice as fast?
Yes.
And I think she needs to stop quite quickly, and I think she needs to accelerate quite quickly. So let's see.
Oh, she's going so fast.
I mean, it still doesn't feel super fast.
Why does she go upside down? Wait, hold up. Let me read this.
You know what I want her to do? I want her to just stay like this. I want her to just stay like this orientation.
Okay. But what if she wants to do, what if she going like, and she do like a flip or something?
That's true, but I feel like we animate the flip. We don't make her entire body rotate. You know what I mean? Like, she's always... Did you kill Jessica again? Goodness. All right. Like, we want Jessica to basically stay like this, right? Because at no point is she standing on her head in the arena.
But why does she go upside down when she goes the left way?
I don't know. The left way wherein she dies when she goes off to the layout. I don't know. Let's see. 8 directions. Set angle. No. Oh, that might do it. Let's see. Yay! Jessica is no longer doing flips.
She can float.
Yeah, she's
it's like
kind of floaty.
Prodigy, when you're like a member, you have a cloud to float on.
I still don't think this is fast enough. I think she needs to be like twice as fast again. With faster acceleration and deceleration. Yeah.
Why is she going so fast?
Well, like, we want it to be a fast game, right?
Yeah.
Wee. Dead. Cool. I wonder... So, there's a behavior in here which is scroll to. And the scroll to behavior it said center one object or scroll to the midpoint of two objects. So what if we add another object that is just like a little sprite. Did I miss it?
Yes.
Yeah, sprite. And we'll put it here, and we'll just, I don't know, it's a this thing with some that stuff. No. There we go. This is Tronny.
Yeah, kinda.
We'll go ahead and crop. We'll save. We'll go box thing. Because it's box thing. Okay. Box thing. I'm going to add a couple of behaviors to the box thing. So we're going to... Ooh. Is this a physics object? Is it like a heavy box that could be moved if Jessica bumps into it? Okay, let's do the thing that I want to do first. I want to go scroll to, and I want to see what happens if Jessica moves far away from it. Okay. Oh, whoops, Jessica died. I killed Jessica and snapped at the box. So what it doesn't do is it doesn't scale the arena. And one of the things that I think is cool about Smash Bros. Is that you can always see both players, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that we want? Like if it's a hot seat, if it's a local multiplayer game that two people are playing at the same time?
Yes. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know how to do it right now, though. So let's go ahead and add a solid behavior. So it's
She can walk on it.
but you can't go through it. Bonk.
Can I give it? I want to try it.
Bonk.
Give it. I want to try it.
I want to try means let me murder Jessica.
Yes, I created her. I have the power to create her, but I also have the power to destroy her.
Let's just try. Let's experiment. We're here. We're having fun. What if we have it be a physics object? Okay. What can we do? Immovable. No. Density. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Oh, buy box. Oh, the box has just fallen off the layout. So, okay, well,
No.
it seems to think that there is gravity here pulling everything this way. Is that like a... I wonder...
Wait, what happens? Wait, hold up. I want to try something. Hold this for a second.
Yeah.
And hold this.
Yep.
Make Jessica go fast, like super fast.
No, come back. No, she died doing what she loved, chasing a box.
Make her so. Wait.
Boink.
Oh!
So that's fun. That's cool.
That's kind of fun.
Right? Like, I think having physicsy objects is fun. I'm gonna get rid of the scroll to behavior on this box because it's annoying. I want to know how we change the gravity to be not happening. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the physics behavior on this for now. And off screen, we'll look at it. So I still don't like her controls. So I'm going to turn off default controls, and we're going to do some eventing, all right?
Huh?
So we're going to go to the event sheet, and we're going to add an event. Oh, you know what the game doesn't know how to do?
What?
The game doesn't know how to look for input from the keyboard. So we're going to add a new object, and we're going to add a keyboard object. Because otherwise it doesn't know.
Oh, we could add gamepad.
We could. Let's start by adding the keyboard and the mouse, just in case we need it later. So that hasn't done anything. And now I've turned off Jessica's movement. So you can't do anything. So,
why'd you do this to her?
so the game knows the keyboard's there, and the game knows the mouse is there, but it doesn't know what to do with any of these buttons.
That's mean.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and have the keyboard.
Beautiful.
So key is down.
This is the only thing I finished.
Oh, nice. Can we show it? I'll just switch to whiteboard. So we've got some character art happening over here, which is fun.
Oh, this looks bad. Close up.
Construct. So we already have the 8-direction movement, so I'm going to go for some WASD controls. So when W is down, we're going to tell Jessica to simulate control up.
Wait, why does W go up? Oh, because it is higher. Okay, sorry.
I have a feeling we're going to run up against the limit of the free version of this kind of quickly.
Probably.
So when the key is down, D, we're going to add an action. Jessica is going to go right. And then when the key is down, when A is down, Jessica is going to go left. All right. So default arrow keys don't do anything, but WASD controls absolutely do. Oh, she's kind of floaty.
She needs like a platform to like run on, and like a jump or something.
I wonder. Nope. Can you just have infinite acceleration? Because I want her, like, as soon as you press the button, she should be going. There we go. That's better. Because if you're trying to, like... If you're trying to get out of the way... Yeah. Here. Yeah. Give it a shot. So WASD, same as... Well, now she's dead, though. You're a monster.
What? There's no competitor, so that like there's nobody else to kill her.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and create a little wall alongside here with our box sprite. So now she actually can't immediately go off the side. Bonk, 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 bonk.
Hey, that's me.
Bonk, bonk. Listen, if you have to murder her, you can still do it. I'm demonstrating a murder. Okay, so this is an okay start with the movement. I feel like we need when she's going left, she needs to maybe flip in the other direction?
What?
I don't know. A mirror? Set mirrored. And set mirrored. Not mirrored. So this should have her actually now face the direction that she's going, if it's left or right. Yeah.
That's cool.
Whee! Hey, good job, Jessica. It feels a little wonky right now because she is not centered.
Wait, she's not. Let me see.
So there's like little like
flap. Wait, Ellen, check.
The combination of her moving super fast plus like the flip makes it feel a little chunky.
That one was by accident. I'm telling you, that one was by accident.
Okay.
Only that time I wasn't trying.
You know what Jessica needs? Jessica needs a dash.
Or like a sprint.
Yeah, like a sprint. On key pressed. So I don't think this is something that you can just hold down. I think this is like you have to press it and then you have to press it again. So when you press, yeah. So maybe what's comfortable? Maybe G.
No.
What?
No.
What? G for dash.
No. That doesn't make sense.
So I think we can set her speed. Yeah, so we can set her speed.
How do you draw nodes?
With lines.
I don't know how to draw that. No, I don't. It's just I don't know how to draw those. You draw them just these.
Let's see.
It's not working.
No, it's super not. But I suspect it's because...
You didn't do it right.
I mean, yeah, probably. Let's change this from on key pressed to on key down and see what happens. G. So now, it's still not doing anything.
Let me try. I'm good at keyboard. Not
You're
really.
good at keyboards?
Not really.
I mean, give it a shot.
Here you go. Now with my super long nails, I have to leave.
Yeah, those nails are going to get in the way a little bit. We got some good, yeah, G is not really...
It's not doing anything.
It might
Wait,
be.
hold up.
Wait, press it again? Wait, does it only shoot her in one direction? Press?
She's...
You know what?
It goes in the direction... Oh, wait. It's only going the right way.
That's so... Oh, you know why?
I didn't know where the end was.
So, I think I'm getting something here.
When?
Speed is... I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, so I don't think speed is what we want. I think maybe,
Acceleration.
I think maybe max speed? Let's try that. Because then that will let her accelerate. Yeah, oh, geez. But we don't want to do it forever, right? Because then, like... Because now her max speed is just cranked up to 2,000 forever.
She's super fast.
Yeah, but we want it to happen. Whoa. We want it to happen and then go away, right?
Yeah.
want maybe we want it to wait for a second. Although this might make everything wait for a quarter of a second. And then we'll set her max speed back down to 800. There we go. Hey, we have a little dash. Whoa.
You just killed us.
Dash to her death. It seems kind of like other input can happen. Okay, so we have player movement and a dash. So that's something. That doesn't feel terrible. It's not nothing. I have a feeling that we're gonna want to be able to track when she's dashing and when she's not. What do you think?
Cool.
Like maybe if she dashes into an obstacle or something, it gets damaged. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, let's say she's got some kind of shield set up. If she dashes into it, it breaks a little bit, like what we're talking about. That is an awesome eyeball. Can I throw that up?
Wait, I don't think it matches. I don't think it's the right size.
No, I think.
It's not the right size.
Yeah, but you can. Wait. Undo that?
Why?
No, undo it. Because you can resize objects. I'll show you. Undo.
I'm pressing undo.
Press it with your finger. There you go. Check this out. Nope. Ah. So, eyeball. Oh, it's the eyeball
And the
and
rest,
part of the face.
and literally the.
There we go. So here. Oh, you got it.
That's not as big. I don't want it to be
Nice.
literally that big.
All right. Let's do. Let's call this. So what I'm doing right now is adding what's called an instance variable, which is, you know, in math when you're trying to solve for something.
No.
Here's an example: Pythagorean theorem.
Oh, that. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, so you're trying to find the length of a side of a triangle that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that you don't know is represented by a letter, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a variable. You're trying to figure out the value, the number associated with the variable. Same thing here. So we're gonna do is dashing. So Jessica dot is dashing. And we're gonna make it true or false, and the initial value is gonna be unchecked. Records when Jessica is dashing. So is dashing is false. And when we go here, we're gonna add an action. Jessica. I want to be able to change a variable here. Instance variables, here we go. Set boolean is dashing is going to be true. And we're going to do that right after we set the movement speed, and then waits a quarter of a second, sets her speed back down, and
Dad?
Jessica. Yeah.
I want to copy it right to there.
Okay, so tap it, and you're gonna go copy, and then you're gonna go somewhere else. You're gonna go paste. So yeah, tap on it, and now you can drag it.
Cool.
Instance variable. Set boolean is dashing. When she's done dashing, it's false. Cool. So we've managed to do her movement and a dash in 5 events. We need to change the name of Jessica's object, because she's not just a sprite. She's Jessica, the Disc Wars test dummy.
Dummy is right.
Oh, there are all sorts of crazy effects we can do. That's cool. It would be cool if we could get some, like, reflections going on. Interesting glass effects. Let's see if there is a reflect. No. I'm sure there's a tutorial out there somewhere. Okay. Well, we've been going for about an hour and 15. I think we've kind of accomplished the things that we set out to do. And we'll wrap it up. So if we go back to our original set of goals, we talked about Construct 3, we brainstormed what we were making, and we got some player movement in. What do you say we call it a day?
Okay.
And we'll do some more work with Jessica, the Disc Wars test dummy, and her box, and her dash, another day.
Good idea.
All right. Thank you for those who tuned in. For those of you who are watching afterwards, we will continue developing this game live at twitch.tv/lovemakeshare. In the meantime, you can follow along with other events and other activities at Instagram at lovemakeshare, facebook.com/lovemakeshare, and lovemakeshare.ca, where the blog is, including 7 things we learned making a video game, which is about the first video game we made. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think except for starting the stream without the microphone on and having to redo the game engine section.
Sorry about that.
I think that went pretty well. That's fun. All right. Disc Wars, Part 2, next time. So follow us on social media for an announcement.
I don't have social media.
Well, not you. Yeah, you're too young, I think legally, at least based on the terms of service, to be on these platforms. So.
I know.
Yeah. So we'll announce when we are doing another game dev stream. Some of it may not be as formal as this first one because we wanted to introduce the project and get people in. But for now, we're going to sign off. We're going to go do some other things, and we will see you all next time.